They said, the creator of the universe became a creation in his universe. He who was without a mother in heaven was born without a father on earth. They said the all-powerful walked amongst us as a man. And I wondered how he who made the sun needed warmth. I wondered if those tiny hands squeezing onto his mother's thumb remembered the weight of the world or the firmament holding the waters above. I wondered if the brighter morning star ever asked his mother why his skin was black. I wondered if this boy was born with a sign on his head that read, Savior of the world, he would one day die on the cross. Or if he was just like us, like me, born upon to eventuality, a random variable in the infinite numbers of possibilities, a victim to the length of time and the chances and choices of those before me, lost as innocent as they come, stripped of any memory, yet saddled with one burden on my back as I gallop through the sands of time to know who I am. And for 23 years and a half, I have struggled to keep this fire burning from within. For my father barely taught me the way of my people. My mother told me no stories about the hawk and the eagle. And I was too shy, too afraid, just unable to ask my mother why she had no tribal mark etched onto her cheekbones. Why my father calls me a prince when I'd never seen him sit on no throne. To ask why I wasn't brought up in the fullness of my heritage. Why I wasn't given a map to my roots. Maybe they had changed. Maybe my parents became indifferent to the culture and some of its practices. Maybe it was never passed on to them. The secrets, the truths, the histories, the way of life, the bond, the love. Maybe this fire wasn't passed on, that somewhere along the line of our roots was severed. And the love my father knows was the one handed down to him. The type of love that wrapped his good intentions in the box of strict discipline. That as a child, it became disrespect to be curious of your elder ones. Disrespect to ask my father why he was almost crippled. Disrespect to rebel when he says that my hair should be as low as the bow I offer to him every morning. Uttering the first words I learnt as being So instead, my guardians pride themselves in leading us in the way of the Lord. For they claim that we are spirits from heaven, molded in our mother's womb by God. But they forget that the spirit has a body, and that this body is earth, is land. Earth and land upon which our ancestors walked. They forget the worship of my great-grandfather and the deity he offered sacrifices to. If only they remembered the graven images of the idols they carved, then I wouldn't be afraid if the spirits come to visit in my dreams. If only they remember the art of herbal remedy that my grandmother practiced, then her children would not be enslaved to the white man's medicine. Their father, what clan did we belong to? What was our strength, our pride? Whose blood runs through my veins? But the art of remembrance, the passing of the torch of knowledge to the next generation has been lost somewhere in the family tree, somewhere in our genealogy. The light and the truth of our root wisdom, as a father forgets to ground his son in the way of the soil, and a mother fails to teach her daughter the way our ancestors moved their lips and tongues. They barely baptized me in the knowledge of my heritage, so the only thing beneath about me is my name. But the world in which we live today has been built for us not to remember. Society has its own agenda to let the white man slither its ways into our culture, to poison tradition, to give us broken lenses and distort our truth. They build their monuments, we learn their histories, we forget our roots. But I believe that Africa has never lacked the strength to fight for the missing pieces of the puzzle, strength to take back the light that has been stolen. Light used by our ancestors to lead us to remembrance, that we also should learn to lay down lamps to every footprint we leave behind on the paths of lives, that our children will be able to journey safely back and forth through time. And when they are born into this world, they will not be blind, they will not be lost, for history will surround them and remind them of who they are. They will find purpose as they learn. They will find progress by avoiding the same pits that traps their fathers. And as we let history guide us, we will remember that time is like the waves of the ocean. And it is the duty of the waves to wash the sands by the shore. But it is also the duty of man to make sure his heritage stays written in the sands.